Another edition of LocLife Sports Radio. You are kicking in with your host with the most, Sean Don, and I'm here, man. I have a great show for you tonight, man. It's been a long time coming, man. I feel like it's been a while since I've been here, and it actually really feels good, man. So we got some really good things, man, that we're gonna talk about tonight. We're going to talk about Russell Westbrook. We're going to talk about Russell Westbrook. Man, I need you to call in too, man. I'm going to need people to actually call, man, because I am nothing without you. I need your feedback. We're going to talk about Russell Westbrook, man. Russell Westbrook is thinking stuff up in LA, man. And it's not looking good for him right now. As a matter of fact, not too long ago, Russell Westbrook was benched in the fourth quarter. So that's odd. That's pretty different for Russ, right? We used to Russ closing games out. We used to Russ at a triple-double. But he looks so bad right now in LA that Frank Vogel opted to bench him in the fourth quarter, and his remarks at the end of the game was he had in the game who he felt like could finish. So that doesn't look too good for us, man. I want to know what you think, man. Do you feel like Russ is at the end of his career? Do you feel like Russ has plateaued to where he's going in the NBA? Because remember, man, Russ played with everybody. He played with Bradley Beal. He played with and he just been around. Russ been everywhere. He played with KD. He played with James Harden. He played with Victor Oladipo. He played with Serge Ibaka. I mean, come on. How many teams? Where do we start? OKC, right? He went to OKC. James Harden and Kevin Durant booked first. They left him, right? And we all wonder why, right? But we all seen that Russ has an unapologetic game. You know, Russ is the way Russ played the game is just it's not like Russ has one speed, and that's go. I always say that about Russell Westbrook, man. And right now, Russ is having a hard time. So what do you think? You know, I personally believe that the Lakers should have kept Brandon Ingram. I thought Brandon Ingram was good, and I also thought, what's my man name? Julius Randle. Julius Randle is nice, man. And they got rid of both of those guys to bring in Russell Westbrook, and now Russell Westbrook stinking stuff up. And LeBron is being LeBron, and we all expect LeBron to do what LeBron do in the playoffs. But it just doesn't look good right now. So I want you to call in, man. Call in and let me know what you think about that. What else do we have for you tonight? Kyrie Irving has came back. My last two shows ago, it was about the mandate, and it was about whether you guys felt like Kyrie Irving should play or not, right? The NBA put this strong mandate on. He went on his live. He stated that he had a decision. He made a decision on what it is that he wanted to do, and he did not want to get vaccinated. And in result to him not being vaccinated, he sat out. I think he sat out for like 14 games. Don't quote me. He sat out for a while. So, but here's the thing. Here's the reason why we're backpedaling and talking about this again. It's because we know that Kyrie Irving is Kyrie Irving, right? We know Kyrie Irving get busy. But they had a rule. They made a rule, right? Their rule was in New York that you can't play unless you're vaccinated. And Kyrie opted out. He sat down. He got a call, right? Somehow, some way, the NBA made a deal for Kyrie Irving to be able to play on road games. He wouldn't be able to play in home games, but he could play on road games. Now, let's talk about this. You guys made an uproar about Kyrie Irving's decision to not get vaccinated, and you want to win so bad that you bring him back. So what does this tell us as fans? What does this tell us as reporters? What does this tell us as parents who children look up to athletes, right? That want to play sports. I've always had a fear that it would get here, right? It's almost like the dumb athletes theory, right? You can be good at sports, but you can be dumb in the books, right? He got an A on his test, knowing damn well this brother haven't had an A since elementary school, but he's good at sports, so we move him through. You know, this is serious. This is a conversation. You know, this is about athletes being pushed through, no matter what their education and their level of education. So did they take an ACT? You know what I'm saying? Did they take these tests to get into these colleges, right? And when they get in these colleges, can they even keep up with the curriculum, right? But they've been pushed through their whole life. Why? Because they play sports. You know what I'm saying? Kyrie Irving came back and scored 22 points in his return. He came back and got busy. The boy been out for 4 months and came back like he never left, and he started. So, what do you tell your son? You know what I'm saying? What do you tell your son? What do you tell? What does the conversation go? How does the conversation go with your 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old athlete, right? Who's entering the world of sports where vaccines is necessary, right? And then you got Kyrie, you know what I'm saying? It's showing the world that not even Kyrie Irving, because he's not wrong for standing on what he believes in, but for him to say, I don't want to play if I'm not vaccinated, the NBA say, well, okay, cool. Well, no, not that he didn't want to play. He wanted to play. He just didn't want to get vaccinated. NBA say, cool, if you don't want to get vaccinated, you're going to have to sit out. For months later to go by, they figure out how to bring him back. So what does that tell us about money, power, morals, and talent? Right? Talent. The power of your talent. You can bend the rule off your talent, depending on how talented you are. Kyrie was sitting at home. I assume he was working out because, again, the boy came back and scored 22 points and haven't touched the NBA floor since. So where are we now? We are looking at Kyrie coming back to play home games, which eventually will happen. Why? Because the Brooklyn Nets want to win. They want to win that bad. It's not about a rule. They wanted to see who was going to bend first. Kyrie obviously didn't bend, and they said, hey, come on back. You want to come back? Come on back. Yeah, you're going to come back because you want to make that money, and he missed playing the game, you know? So, I mean, there's levels, man. That's what that teaches us. That it's levels. And it's levels in power, right? Somehow, some way he could come back. They made a statement. They used him to make a statement that if you're an athlete and you're not vaccinated, you can't play. But there's other players in the NBA that did opt out of being vaccinated. Bradley Beal, Michael Porter Jr., a few other guys that didn't want to get vaccinated, but their team didn't require them to become vaccinated, right? So the whole team got vaccinated, and Kyrie sat out. But the crazy thing is the Brooklyn Nets was number 1 in the East. They are number 3 now. We're going to get back on that because I'm gonna move forward. We're going to talk about Kevin Durant and his current status with the Brooklyn Nets and what it will mean if Stephen Curry was to win an NBA championship after he left. So we'll talk about that later. But yeah, man, talent and power, man. That's what it's kind of all about. I really been into creators owning their intellectual property, right? I don't know if it's a such thing as a physical property. I don't know what comes along with signing an NBA contract, and what you have to do, right? But I just know that it's something, and I would love to hear how you feel about it, man. Let me know, man. We talked about Russell Westbrook, and do you feel like Russell Westbrook needs to be traded? Do you feel like he's going to get it together? Man, I got strong feelings about Russell Westbrook when it comes to how he played the game. And we're going to take a break. Listen, man, you are watching LocLife Sports Radio live, streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and other top social media platforms. Please like, follow, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. LocLife Sports Radio, man. This is it right here, baby. Russ has always played the game different. And listen, man, I want you to call in, man. 355-601-8313. Please, man, give me a call. I would love to hear from you. Like I said, I'm nothing without you, and just if you got something small to give me, I love to take your call. But listen, man, me personally, I've always felt like Russ had the Iverson syndrome. He had the Iverson thing going on, right? Super talented, hella talented. Listen, I am not about to speak against Russell Westbrook talent. Russ got it. He has the energy. He can jump. And if he can put it together, he may be able to turn it into something. But just like Iverson was all for self his whole career, right? He amazed us with his talent, and we sat back and we did the ooh, the ah, his whole career, right? But in the end, he never was able to transition his game to play team ball, to involve and include other people for the main goal, which is to win, right? The same thing for Russell Westbrook. Man, Russ just make bad decisions, bro. And it's amazing to me how just because he's in the NBA, when he's in these press conferences, the reporters, they don't be easy on him, but they don't be hard on him. They kind of like cater to their feelings when they're asking questions. Maybe they feel like they're going to get the whole Marshawn Lynch response. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to athletes bombing in the games. You know what I'm saying? But bad decisions, bad shot making, bad turnover ratios. Yeah, he's at 18-7 and 5, but he's at 24 minutes. He's jacking up 1,000 shots, and it just don't add up. You know what I'm saying? And we all know that this isn't the Lakers. This isn't the Laker culture. Lakers, this is Kobe we talking about. We talking about Magic. We talking about Kareem. You know what I'm saying? So, we're talking about Shaq. So, was LeBron bringing Russ to LA a good idea? What is this? What is this? Is this you go have lunch with LeBron and then all of a sudden he go to Jenny Bus and then they get it done? Next thing you know, you wearing a Laker jersey, right? Man, Kobe probably would have never approved of this deal. Let's put it on the flow. Kobe probably would have rather built with the young gunners, which was Julius Randle and Brandon Ingram. It was a few other guys in that trade, but those two guys stand out to me because they're good. Kobe Bryant would have not agreed to that trade, and that would have not went down. That would have not went down if Kobe was still here. It's big shoes to fill when you talk about putting a Laker jersey on, And what do you think? Do you think it's anywhere else for Russell Westbrook to go? I've even heard rumors, right? Like my man Rob say, my moles. I've heard from my moles that they're looking at bringing in John Wall for Russell Westbrook and sending Russ back to Houston. What do you think? Do you think that will work? Would you rather have anybody but Russ? Me, I don't know if I'd rather have anybody but what do you do? Because Russ is just... So yeah, man, it's looking ugly. The Brooklyn Nets are currently number 3. And I believe the LA Lakers are still... Excuse me. The Lakers are still at number 8 in the Western Conference. They look bad, bro. And we still got Steph Curry up there at number 2, and we have the Phoenix Suns holding it down at number 1 for the Western Conference. And for the Eastern Conference, you'll never believe it. For the Eastern Conference, man, we got the Miami Heat holding it down at number 1. It is crazy to me how the NBA has just changed. Because for so many years, the NBA, it was the same 4 teams all the time. It was the San Antonio Spurs, the Los Angeles Lakers, and for the longest, it was Cleveland. We had our Cleveland, Detroit, Boston, in different eras with however you want to put them. You know what I'm saying? But Chicago Bulls at number 2, and the Brooklyn Nets holding down that 3 spot. What are we really saying when it comes down to these Brooklyn Nets, right? KD is doing his thing, but KD is hurt. So, it's not as bad as it was, but them boys holding down that 3 spot, and I've heard them mention something about James Harden not being happy. And I know that James Harden would get up and go. Right? I don't know. One thing I do know is that Stephen Curry doing good on the West. Kevin Durant left Steph Curry. If Steph Curry wins the NBA championship this year, if you KD, how would you feel? I mean, you really have to just stand on the decision that you made, but why did you really leave? You know what I'm saying? You left a championship dynasty all because you got into a quarrel with Draymond Green on the sideline. I'm not saying that he shouldn't have feelings, right? And maybe the organization should have protected him. Man, we can go for days, right? But why would you leave the Golden State Warriors? Why? Why? Why in the world would you leave your squad, go? Why would you lose to the Golden State Warriors, go play for the Golden State Warriors, get into a fight on the sideline, leave, go to the East. You got a halfway here, halfway there Kyrie Irving, and James Harden's not happy. You're number 3 in the East. If Stephen Curry is successful, how do you feel? Listen, all of this started when all these players start bouncing around, right? This is what happens. We are looking at the result of what happens when the league gives athletes too much freedom. These athletes bounce around, go wherever they want to go, up, pack, leave. As soon as they become unhappy, they want to leave, right? But what happens? What happens to the unsuccessful teams and the unsuccessful players that just pack up and just go, right? You got your Kyrie Irvings. You got your Kevin Durant's. Kyrie played for Boston. He was supposed to be promising for Boston. Nothing happened, right? Bryant keep bouncing around. He set the tone. I don't want to be the one to go here, but how long did Jordan play for the Chicago Bulls? How long did Isaiah Thomas play for the Detroit Pistons? How long did Reggie Miller play for the Indiana Pacers? The loyalty was different back then. Listen, man, call in 313-355-6018. I would love to hear how you feel. This is a new game, man. Like things are changing. And we're giving the players a lot of power, you know. Do you feel like the athletes should be able to call their own shots? Like whenever they say they're not happy anymore, should they be able to just up, bounce, and leave? And whatever happened to the contract or the, you know what I'm saying, or the finance part of it, we'll figure it out. But they can either not play, which hurts the team, or if the team plays them knowing that they're not happy. That's another thing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, please give me a call, man. Call in. I would love to know how you feel. Comment on WJZZ Cool TV live Facebook page we're on right now. And we'll take a quick one, man. Listen. You are watching LocLife Sports Radio live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and other top social media platforms. Please like, follow, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. I quite frankly feel like Russell Westbrook should have stayed with the Thunder. Man, those Thunders love Russell Westbrook, man. Win, lose, or draw, they hung in there with Russell Westbrook. Even when he did dumb stuff, like made crazy passes, crazy shots, whatever, those fans in that organization roll with him thick and thin. And I personally believe that he'll retire there, right? We don't know about KD because KD seems like he's just not happy anywhere, right? Hey, listen, man, I seen one meme one time, right? I seen a meme where, you know, they always talk about KD's gray hair, right? And what they did was somebody did a close-up on the TV, and they paused it, right? And then, like, his head was so close to the screen, and they took a picture of them with a brush on top of his head, and it looked like they were brushing his head on the TV. I just thought that was so hilarious. They be going on my man KD fade, man. But listen, man, KD is a special athlete. But he got that bounce around in him. Draymond Green had him feeling salty. Just put it on the flow. Whatever Draymond Green said to that boy on the sideline, It hurt his soul. Because ain't no way in hell I'm going to up and leave Stephen Curry. You know, maybe it was the organization. Maybe the organization said, you know, they had to make a decision, you know. And I just knew that if the organization had a decision to make on who, if one had to go and one had to stay, it sure enough would have been Draymond Green. Because KD was the guy. Like, KD came in, as soon as he came in, they started winning, right? KD became a household name in the Golden State Warrior uniform, right? So, I would ask the owners of the Golden State Warriors, why did they let that ride? Why did they allow Draymond Green to feel like he can talk to Kevin Durant like that on the sideline? And not owe him a public apology? What do you think? Now KD is in a position where, how long do we have to build with the Brooklyn Nets before we win? How long? Listen, man, James Harden is out of there. James Harden is out of shape. He don't look happy. He's quiet. And he just don't seem like himself. James Harden is the first to go. Now, if Kyrie Irving pull, what if the whole team break up? And what if it just don't work? What's next for Kevin Durant? What? He's subject to going back to the Bay. He'll put a call in. Why wouldn't he? He already showed us that he is for self. And he do not have a feeling of loyalty when it comes to a team. His loyalty is to himself and what he feel. And he'll give you an excuse like, man, I just want to play basketball. I'm just here to play basketball. But it has to be deeper than that, bro. So, I don't know, man. We will see what happens. Next topic that we're going to cover is Antonio Brown. And again, thank you for tuning in to LocLife Sports Radio. This is our 4th or 5th show. We're doing good. We don't get as many callers as we would like, but just like anything in life, you have to keep grinding. You know what I'm saying? Because one day things will pop, but you just got to keep going, you know. And we get listeners, man, and we get likes, and we get people who actually know what we're doing. So long as you know that LocLife is just not about doing hair, we do multiple things. We have product. We have a product line. We specialize in locks and barbering. We're in the hair business, photography. We actually sell hair extensions as well. We teach lock training classes, and I also hold a sports column as well with the Detroit Smart Pages. Please look them up. The Detroit Smart Pages. They are on Instagram and they are on Facebook, and they also have a website, so you can always check my latest column, and it's really some good reads in there. Like, I was reading the paper the other day, and I was just checking out some of the writers, some of their columns, and there's really some great reads in there, some really great topics, some things that we talk about in barbershops and we talk about amongst our family and friends. But it's definitely cool to get insight and get information about what's going on with technology, what's going on in your community, different programs like Val from Sip Talk and Chill. She's always giving tips on different grants in the city, like Motor City Match. That's out of the city of Detroit. They are giving grants to small business owners. You know, we love those grants. You know, we did good with those grants last year and the year before last. But, you know, small business is hard, you know. So it's a blessing for the city to be able to have that resource tool for small businesses. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant died 2 years ago today. Him and his beautiful daughter, Gianna. And we can't forget the other passengers. You know, a lot of people tend to rest in peace and get their flowers to Kobe, but there was other people on that chopper. There was other people who had a mother, a father, a sister, a brother, a family member who still misses them on this day. Other people died today, not just Kobe and Gianna, but we recognize Kobe and Gianna for his gifts and what he gave us here. So big rest in peace to Kobe and Gianna. Let's keep it moving, guys. Let's keep it going, man. I want to touch base with Antonio Brown. What is going on with Antonio Brown? Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I knew a little bit about Antonio Brown, but I didn't know a lot. And in my latest column in the Detroit Smart Pages that should be coming out pretty soon, I did some hard research on Antonio Brown to see who and what he was about. And ever since this brother been in the league, he's always had social issues. It's like he's never had problems on the field. He's never had problems with his game. All his problems come from being social, him not getting touches, or him having a social issue with the coaching staff, or the owners, or a helmet, or something happening where he threw a bike out the window and the bike hit an infant, right? Rape allegations, you know. But you're talking about a talented brother who made a lot of money, right? So what happens is they're playing the Jets. They're playing the Jets. Now, there's two sides to every story, right? And you be the judge. And again, you're more than welcome to call in. The number is 355-6018. Please give us a call. Let us know what's going on, how you feel about the topics about Russell Westbrook playing in LA. Should he stay? Should he go? Kyrie Irving coming back. Do you feel like Kyrie Irving is going to come back and play full time? Non-vaccinated. Now that would be major. I don't even know if they'll report that, right? It may be easy for them to report that. If they say, hey, yeah, Kyrie is vaccinated, and then next thing you know, he playing home games too, but he really didn't get vaccinated. But this whole athletes lying about being vaccinated, that's a thing now. Aaron Rodgers, Antonio Brown, right? Kyrie not wanting to be vaccinated. We don't know where we're going with being vaccinated in professional sports, but what we do know that it is a thing, you know. And I want to know what you think. Do you feel like the Brooklyn Nets need Kyrie Irving to win the NBA title? You know, you can comment on our Facebook page. You know, that's major. You know, do you feel like this is Kevin Durant's? I mean, do you feel like this is Russell Westbrook's last stop? Who wants him? Who's going to give him a chance? I mean, I understand that once you are in the club and once you play for the organization, you have a job, right? And your job is with the NBA. So what that means is if there's a team that doesn't want you, they'll shop you around for a team that does want you. I want you to keep in mind. Excuse me. I want you to keep in mind that Russ makes $44 million this year. So it's going to be hard to shop Russell Westbrook's contract. Like, what do? You know? But the Lakers want to win. The NBA wants the Brooklyn Nets and the LA Lakers. But just like Charles Barkley say, they don't went and got these old geezers. Charles Barkley's so disrespectful. He said they don't went and got these old geezers and put this team together, and these boys can't win to save their life. And we have to see if they even make the playoffs because they're number 8. They got the number 8 spot right now. So we don't know. We'll have to see. Call me. Let me know. Let me know how you feel, man. Let me know. Will Bryant get another one in LA? Do you feel like Bryant has been baby spoon fed? Is that too harsh, y'all? Have LeBron been baby spoon fed during his time in the NBA, and now they done gave him Russell Westbrook because he done went and had an In-N-Out burger. If you know about the In-N-Out burger, he done went to the In-N-Out burger or went to Noble, and they done had a good meal, and he done brought Russell Westbrook to the Los Angeles Lakers, knowing damn well Russell Westbrook is like a locomotive going wild. The brother has no slowdown. It's a lot of new talent in the NBA though, man. Like, there's a lot of new coming athletes, man. I like Ja Morant. I like my man. What's my man name? Listen, Anthony Edwards, man. You guys need to get hip to Anthony Edwards, man. Anthony Edwards is amazing, man. He played for the Minnesota Timberwolves, and this guy, he just had 40 the other night. Last night he scored 40, right? And they asked him, how do he feel? You know what this brother said, y'all? They asked him, how do he feel when he turns up in the fourth quarter? This brother said, like Black Jesus. And man, they had a room full of reporters sitting there looking at him, ask him this question. And this is a young black man, talented with talent, can look at a whole team of white reporters and respond to them that he feels like Black Jesus when he on his game, and they have to respect it. So that's another that's another conversation, like having talent. Man, when I was coming up, bro, if you were talented, you had an exception to the rule. They'll bend the rule for you, right? Like, I'm sure the headlines is going crazy, but what are you going to do? He is their star player. What, you going to bench him because he said he feel like Black Jesus? You're going to respect that this young black man with these braids in his head playing professional sports for this. We know the owners is not black. Organization can tell the world that when he's getting off doing his thing, he feel like Black Jesus. So I'm saying, man, having the conclusion to what will be of our show tonight is that talent trumps rules. There is no such thing as rules when you have talent. What are we teaching our children? That if you have talent, it doesn't matter what anybody say, you can get what you want out of life. And you know what? It's sad to say, in the world we live in today, I'm willing to think that, yeah, that's probably 75% accurate, right? That talent will trump rules. Personality, looks, right? I've heard someone say something about in the plant, right? I never worked in the plant, but they said that some people get favor in the plant based off of how they look or how cool they are. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what plant, you know what I'm saying, because I know there's a lot of them. But in those environments, that's my example that I'm trying to get around to, that in those environments, favor, you're favored when you produce. You can get a little extra. And what does that teach society, guys? What does that teach us as a people? What does that teach us as a worker, someone who goes out every day and earn their keeps, right? What does it teach them? To always get extra? To always try to get a little more, right? Strive to get more. Strive to be better. Strive to get more than what you're entitled to. Even if that means taking, right? I'm not going to go far in that, but who knows, man. But Anthony Edwards is a great athlete, man, and he's doing his thing. And that means a lot for us as blacks to be able to stand on a professional platform like the NBA and tell these white reporters that I feel like Black Jesus when I'm doing my thing, and they have to accept it. That actually stands out. That's another big win for us, man. And they have to accept it. Because when you out there putting up them kind of numbers, you're not going to piss them off. What you going to do, fine him because he said he feel like Black Jesus? I mean, it's a difference, bro. Because I remember when Kaepernick had his training camp, Kaepernick wore that shirt that said something about what is a slave or something. Don't quote me. But he begged the NFL to give him a shot again, and he told them where they were going to come see him. And then when they came to see him, he got in front of a camera with a shirt that said, what does a slave mean? Or asked the reporter, what is a slave? What does slavery really mean? Or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So you have a choice with your voice. Eventually we seen what happened with Kaepernick. He wasn't able to make a return to the NFL. Even though there were teams that could have used his talent, he used his voice for the wrong things, You got to remember you work for an organization, and you got to kind of like tiptoe around your celebration and how you, how you talk about yourself and how you talk about others. You got to be very careful, And I'm not gonna go deep into it, but I'm down with the 5%er. You know what I'm saying? I'm down with Black Jesus. You know what I'm saying? I'm down with the Nation of Islam. So to hear a young black man stand tall on that platform and announce himself as Black Jesus, you gotta respect that. That means that we came a long way as a people. Look out for Anthony Edwards, man. Boy got talent. Boy really got talent. I got my eye on him, and these kids aren't kids anymore, right? Antonio Brown. Back to Antonio Brown. So during the game when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers was playing the New York Jets. Hold on, let me get the station ID out, y'all. You are watching LocLife Sports Radio, live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and other top social media platforms. Like, follow, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. So, again, we don't really know what happened. And call in. But they're calling it mental health issues. I don't know. But I just know that bruh always had a problem with people. He doesn't have a problem during the game. He has a problem with people in the locker room or in management, right? So what happens is this right here, right? Coach tells him to get in the game. He says, no, I'm not getting in the game. He says, my ankle hurt, and coach, I can't sit out. I have to sit out. You know my ankle hurt. I've been telling you and other people, the medical staff, that my foot just isn't right. You're asking me to go out there. I'm telling you I can't. He then stated that coach told him to get the F out of here, and then gave him the throat slash, like you're done. You're done. And told him to get the F out of here. Now, one, you are talking to a grown man, all right? And two, you're just a head coach. So what power do you really have to fire someone, right? Man, can a head coach fire? I mean, can a head coach really fire an athlete? I mean, we're talking about professional sports. I would think that you will actually have to go through a union. Like, athletes are protected, right? I'm just trying to figure out what's Antonio Brown's issue. I'm thinking that it's hard to call mental issues for people. It's hard to do that because everybody doesn't have a mental issue. I wish us as Americans would look deeper into that term. You know what I'm saying? Mental health. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. I'm just saying, if you play professional football for a living, it got to be something wrong with you anyway, right? You are out there playing a physical sport and you are in full contact with other grown men. He took his pads off. He threw them down, ran across the field, and threw the New York fans and gave everybody, the whole world, the peace sign. Ran out of the stadium. The next time we saw Antonio Brown, he was waiting for a cab. He did not ride back with the team. He did not do anything with the team. He left the stadium and got in a cab and went home, right? Then on the other side, they say that he had incentives coming up, which means that a few more yards you get this amount of money, or this many more catches you get this amount of money, right? He was up for $1 million. He was up like a few more catches. Don't quote me, don't quote me, but he was up for his incentives. Mind you, when he left the Pittsburgh Steelers, when he left the Oakland Raiders, when he left the New England Patriots, no one wanted to deal with him, right? So what happens is Tom Brady needed another receiver. Tom Brady put the word in. Tom Brady got him a job with Tampa Bay, right? But what happened was Tampa Bay said, yeah, we'll deal with him, but we'll deal with him under these rules, right? First of all, it's a 1-year contract, and we'll give him incentives with the contract, right? Antonio Brown saying that he wasn't targeted. So on one end we hear him saying that the coach told him to get the F out, and he was fired on the sideline. And then because he couldn't go in because his foot didn't work. And then on the other end, he's saying that he didn't get targeted, that Tom Brady wasn't going to pass on the ball. But the Tampa Bay Buccaneers got to the division playoff finals in the NFL. So he would have got his touches, right? He would have ended up getting his touches. He would have ended up getting his money. Now, what I do not know is, I don't know if